Hey everyone, this is a little video about using eTax, that is to fill in your Australian income tax using the program eTax if you're on a Linux system. So you can just, so the first thing you have to do is download the Windows version. They do not have a Linux version, and I cannot verify that this actually works, but I can show you what I'm going to try doing. And I'll make a subsequent video if anyone's interested on whether it's actually worked for me. But this is, if it does work, this is how it's going to happen. So you just download it, and I've already downloaded the MSI file. And here's what the ATO has to say about it. Can I use eTax on a computer running a Linux operating system? They declare that eTax is not compatible with the Linux-based operating systems. However, some Linux users have reported success using Wine, but we have not tested this. Wine is a translation layer capable of running Windows applications on Linux and other POSIX-compatible operating systems. Now, just to be clear, I'm not advising you to use Wine. This is just a video for interest's sake. If you have a substantial amount of tax, if we're talking about a substantial amount of money, go get it done with an accountant anyway, or use it on a Windows computer, or use it in a virtual machine if you really want to feel safe. So you can install Windows in a virtual machine, as I've got here, and then you can use eTax in its native environment if that's what you really want to do. That's what I did last year, and that's what I may very well do this year if I find that eTax, if I'm not sure that eTax is going to work 100% on Wine. So that's one option. You can use it in a virtual machine, but if you want to actually try running it within Linux, then what you have to do is make sure that you've got Wine. So it's very simple to get Wine. You just go to the software center and do a little search, and it'll come up with Wine here or here. You can get Play on Linux and that'll install Wine, or you can use Crossover. If you're a command line type person, you just go sudo apt-get install Wine, and that'll do the same thing. So I've got Wine installed already. So let's see how it goes. Let's open this. Yep, chosen to open this MSI, which is a Windows installer package. Yep. So actually, you know what, I'll just save this in downloads and then go straight to it. Unfortunately, I'm not using, oh wait, there we go. I'm not using Unity. Unity kind of crashed on me recently, so I've been reduced to using GNOME Shell, which is it's not bad. It's not Unity, but I find that it's not quite as intuitive or as fun to use. But anyway, on to eTax 2013. Alright, so it looks like it's loading the installer quite comfortably, no distortion of the text or anything like that. Next, yes, here's the license agreement. Next, yep, install it. As you can see, C program files in the bottle. Which version would you like to use? Well, it doesn't seem to say anything about that. Please choose installation options. It's always a good idea to create a desktop icon, then you can transfer that to another folder if you like. And it does a little installation thing and seems to be done. So it launches eTax. No, don't need to read this information. Check for updates. Yeah, here we go. It's got an error. 1030 unknown exception. So it looks for the most part like it should work just fine. But beware that you are taking a bit of a risk if you're going to try using it on Wine. Is it worth your while to try using it on Wine instead of just using it in a virtual machine or on a Windows machine? That's up to you. Remember, it is your tax, and if you get it wrong, you can get into trouble. So I personally wouldn't recommend that you use it in Wine, but I just wanted to point out that it could be an option if you want to explore that and you're not too fussed about possibly having to redo it in a Windows machine if it doesn't work out too well on Wine. So anyway, that's my little video for you on this topic. I hope you find it useful, or at least gives you some food for thought, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. Bye!